Howdy, 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 howdy. Hey, Sherry, how are you? Hopefully you're doing good and staying safe and healthy. I'm just goofing around waiting for everybody to come in, so. Hi, Janet, how are you? Well, good, Sherry. I'm glad you're doing good. I'll tell you, these days you just don't know from one day to the next. It's scary. They're talking about lifting a lot of the bans in places and stuff, and it's sort of scary because, everything still keeps going up. Hey, Mama. Hey, Elizabeth. I'm just goobing around as everybody comes in. I'll give everybody a couple minutes like normal. It always takes everybody a little bit. Let me clean my sloppy table off. What's everybody been up to? Anybody been up to anything fun today? I bet, Janet. Shoo, I would. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that. My husband does, and I know it drives him crazy. He comes home and it's like, he's like, work's stressful anyway, but with all this stuff, it's even more stressful. Oh, fun. Ugh. Nobody likes to do. I worked today. I did do work today. I just didn't go anywhere to do work. And sometimes I think that's more work than if I went somewhere. I remember because when my kids were little, yes, Elizabeth, I seen some of that. That was really good. I have to go back and watch the rest of it. I thought it was really good. I love how they do that. It's so neat. Of course, I think carving them is really cool too. I'll give everybody just a couple of minutes to get in because it's just 1 minute after now. So I like to go till about 5 after just to give everybody, because sometimes your notifications take a while to get. I know my mom, even though she signed up to get them every once in a while, hers don't even come through. So I end up texting her the link. I'm cheating. Well, this isn't even for tonight. This is just, I'm goofing around making some. I got a new book. Well, I've had it for a while, but I hadn't had a chance to really sit down and play with it. And oh my gosh, it's so neat. So I'll show it to everybody, but it's pretty cool. It's worth getting if, That's where I made this from. See my cute little envelope? My little glassine envelope. But it's not actually glassine. This is, let's see. I actually found this at one of my local stores. I can get it for like $6 a box. So it's not too bad. And you get 500 sheets. But it's dry wax paper. It's deli weight. Hey, Catherine. Yeah, I was in there and then my husband came home and I had to cook dinner, but I don't know if you can tell. You can see through it. I mean, it's pretty, almost like a glassine, and it's sort of more shiny even though it's dry. But yeah, you get 500 of them for $6, and this is the size of one of the sheets. So, I mean, you can make 2 little bags or, one really big bag if you wanted to, but I've been making like, if I fold them like this, like that size bag out of them, which is like a perfect size if you want to put a little tag in them or whatever. But yeah, so not bad. I thought $6 for 500 of them, that's pretty good. So Just set that up there like that. Oh. So yeah, I was playing around with that. Yeah, Catherine, it works perfect. See, I found this book. Isn't this the coolest cover? It's like all little stamps, and I'm, trying to keep myself from chopping it up. I didn't get them at the bakery. I got them at like a local restaurant supply store. But you get like 500 of them for like $6. Well, okay, at least where I get them from. I don't know what they cost everywhere else, because we have like a discounted bakery supply store. But it's called The Envelope Mill. Like a mill, like you make some recycle magazines and other paper products into beautifully crafted envelopes. And so it's got, I'm going to flip through it real fast so you won't be able to read everything, but how to put cards in there and how to label and things you can make them, things you can do to make really cool envelopes. But the really cool part is it does go through all kinds of stuff to do it. There's a small, or what they call number 1 envelope template. And let's see, there is, hold on, let me come out here. Hi, Michelle. Then there's a number 2 envelope template. And then there's a number 3, which is your like long, wide envelope, like, like your standard envelope. This is one of the smaller ones. And then this was this size envelope. So, you have 3 different sizes, which makes it really nice. I got it for this book at my thrift store for 39 cents, I think. So the templates were worth that. And it does do a bunch of different things. So maybe I'll work through some of the ideas that they have in there, because some of them are really cool. Nope, I turned it the wrong way. It's got this big envelope storage pocket, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, so it's a really cool book, and it's just called The Envelope Mill. Is what it's called. It's by the Summit Group. But it's a pretty cool book. Okie doke. It is 6 after, so we will go ahead and get started. I did do a little bit on my journal, not on camera, but I have this up, so I'm going to walk you through it. I did ink my edges and on my cover, just to sort of add some brown tones to it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Hopefully my lighting is okay today. And I added this lace along here just to sort of gather the lace from the inside. And then what I did is when I opened it up, I just sort of pulled. Let me see if I can lift it up where you can see it. Oh, you can see it on this end maybe. I just sort of lifted that lace up right there, tucked it under there, and then glued it down. So I did do that in the inking. And then I wanted to label my dividers. Oh, Sherry, I got it a while ago. I've had it on, it's one of those things where I brought it home and set it up to deal with later, and I just haven't had time to deal with it. I did use some their chipboard cutouts. Graphic 45 Home Sweet Home has sort of a little kit, and I have a bunch of these that sort of goes along with it. It's more like Happiness is Homemade type quilty stuff, but it went really well with this kit. So I used that there and just wrote like my appetizers. And then every other one I did a dangle, but I used one of these little round dangles, and I put one up here so I can show you. They're so cute. I just poked a hole in the middle and put one of my garment pins, my little loop pins, through it. I just poked a hole in the middle, but they're like little quilt pieces, little hexagon quilt pieces. They're so cute. So I hung one of those off every other one just to sort of give it a little dangle, but I didn't want to do metal because I was worried, if you're in the kitchen, if you have steam and moisture, and I was just a little leery of doing that. So I did that. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, and then have another of the main dishes, and then another little quilt hangy. And I just hand wrote mine. I sort of like that, vintagey handwritten vibe. Hello, Wendy. How are you today? So I did that. And then like this one has another little hang thing and a little tabby. And there it's just sort of connected where it's stapled on. So, and then that one has a little hangy. I love the chicks, Elizabeth. That's my favorite one. And then, it just has a little tab. And then this one that had the milk, which is like where I'm putting my beverages, like my hot cocoa and homemade tea mixes, homemade cappuccino mixes, because I do a bunch of stuff like that. I actually hung it, and I poked 2 holes in it so I could put it on there, but it's an old, like a chipboard milk cap. So I thought that would fit perfectly on the little milk cap page. So I liked that. And then, a little hello there with some little carrots on my canning page. I know, Sherry, it's my favorite. So I'll try to flip through so I don't go through so fast. But so like we have the tags that pull out. And then like I have some places where I can journal on the back. And then like these, I actually colored some of the pages. I haven't turned some of them into pockets and stuff like that because I'm not sure. That's one of those things until you get there, you're not really going to know what you need. And I have to, hand copy all my recipes over. So, that's going to be a slow work in progress because what I want to do is, over the next several months, like through Christmas, is because I have tons of recipes. And my problem is I want to do sort of, what is the word? I wanted to sort of, there's a word for it, but it's not coming to me. I wanted to compact my recipes. Because I have tons of cookbooks. I have, tons of recipes, that people have given me, things like that, but they're not necessarily something that I use. There's certain recipes you use all the time. And that's what I really want to fill this up with. And then I'm going to do one. Oops, I lost oh no, I didn't. That was another milk cup. I want to do one for each of my daughters. So some things I'm going to have to do as I move them over because I don't know. I'm going to add them as I use them, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, that what I'm talking about. So some of these I didn't fold into pockets yet just because I'm not sure. And then I have my pages and some I have doily. Yeah, my favorites, the stuff that I use, I have certain recipes I use just at Christmas time, but they're Christmas favorites that you cook every Christmas. Obviously those are going to go in, but like I make Indian fry bread and condensed, yes, was the word I was looking for. So, and I do have some of these pages in here that I can glue, my old recipes over. Then like over here, I can write, like I have one of the recipes I have is from my Aunt Mary. And, well, let me find it and I'll sort of show you an example of what I'm talking about. Because I do have I have a ton of recipes. Way too many is what I have. Okay, like I have a recipe that's my Aunt Mary's whoopie pies. Well, I don't want to put the original on here, obviously. So I'm going to scan it. And it's 2-sided, so I'll scan both sides and then cut them out and then, glue them together. And then, maybe staple it in here with some decoration or, copy both sides, and put both sides over here. And then over here, because my Aunt Mary's passed away, so I may get a picture of her and write a story about her, if that makes sense. Or, something about her, she lived from here to here, sort of a story about where it came from. Things like that. So it's a cookbook, but at the same time, it's more than a cookbook because it's going to be basically the cooking history of my family, be it my dad's side, my mom's side, or my husband's side, because my kids they're used to certain foods from certain areas. So, that's how I'm going to do. And then, we all have I have recipes that people have given me on cards that I have, but I alter it. I add this or take this away, so I can, by doing it this way, and not just shoving the recipe cards in. I can go, this is the recipe, but I add this because, you know, dad likes this, or, your brother's like this, or, I can just sort of tweak each recipe. And I may end up changing my binding on this, or taking some of the pages out at least until I figure out how much I need, because it's really bulky. So these are just, coffee dyed, coffee stained papers. And then we have this one. And then there's the helpful hints on the back. And then some of them, like those colored pages, I have turned into pockets like this. And, some of the recipe cards are double. So like I could write the whoopie pie recipe on here. Hi, Kathy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I'm just sort of at this point filling them in. I mean, I could, like, this is my husband's Grandma Donor's Mississippi mud cake recipe. I mean, I could just tuck that in there. But, I have 2 daughters, and I want them to have, obviously, I can't split the original in half. But if I scan it and I do it at like 600 DPI, where it's a real high quality, it's not just going to catch, it's going to catch where she scribbled out what she put in it. And it's going to, catch where my mother-in-law wrote whose it was. And it's going to catch all those little stains where it's been baked and cooked with, for, this is like his 5th great grandmother's recipe is where this came from. So, they're going to get that history with it instead of me just hand copying it and everything's in my writing, because I sort of want that history with it. And then again, I have pictures of all these people that these came from. So, maybe put I have some little frames. Let's see, did I put and I thought about doing that. Let me see. Yeah, I have them. I got these from BB Crafts online, and I think they were like maybe $6 for the pack. And I think you get like 10 of them in a pack. I think it's 10. I haven't used any, so we'll see. Let's see. 2, there's 6, 8. Yes. You get 10, but they're teeny tiny little frames. And they've got, little holes where you can hang them. So I'm actually thinking about taking like embroidery thread and maybe poking a hole in the top and putting hole reinforcers around it, and tying, a little embroidery floss, or maybe crochet thread, something a little thicker, to put it on there, and then printing out on cardstock, a little miniature picture, like a contact size picture of whoever wrote the recipe, putting glue around it, especially the ones that are old, putting glue around it. And then, on that page, I can put that little picture of them on there, which is sort of going to, add that homey family feel to it. So, but it's one of those things that until I start copying and getting everyone, which would take me months to do, you guys, because this isn't joking. All of my mom's recipes, if I need them, I call her and call her and ask her, and she has a ton, but they're all in her head, and I need to get those wrote down. And she's got a ton of recipes, and I have these are some of mine. Okay. And this is packed. There's no room in there. And I have cookbooks that I've marked in, and I have notebooks that my mother-in-law has wrote recipes in. And I just have so many that it's going to take me months to get them transferred over. But I wanted to at least show you some of what I would do. And obviously, I would write on here and tuck these. And so all the colored pages, or any of the pages like this that were actually out of, the recipe book, I can turn into pockets, and fit 4 or 5 recipe cards in each one. So, that's just something I was thinking about doing. But I did want to leave, pages. I want to do the one, and that's why I didn't label all of my tabs. Like the ones that have the little quilt pieces, I didn't label because, I think I'm going to do one that's going to be holiday. So it's going to be like my Thanksgiving dinner, my Christmas dinner, and then on those pages, I may want to take a picture, of a family Christmas, from when I was little, and, my grandmother was there, and all of them, and then I could put that there. or, like that. So, I mean, it just sort of depends on exactly how much, you want to put into it. But if you wanted to make one like for somebody as a gift, what I would do, and this is just, I'm throwing this out there because I know Christmas, people start, getting things ready for Christmas. I would do all of my dividers just like we did. I would do, the little pockets, tuck any recipes you want to pass on. I would dye some of my papers, and put extra papers in there. But then I would coffee dye all of the actual recipe pages if you're using one of the the ring binders that you can already get. And I would coffee dye those and leave those in there. Then they can just use the blank pages to write in whatever recipes they want to. And it works just the same. And if you do that, other than coffee dyeing the paper and decorating the dividers, if you want to make, the little pockets, and that's, you technically wouldn't even have to make the little pockets if you didn't want to. It just sort of adds another dimension to it. So, there, you could whip it up together pretty easy. I will show you, and not just recipe binders, but like your garden binders, your planner binders. You can whip them up real fast because I know some people don't cook. And Christmas, people come up for Christmas and they have things they want to do. I'll show you one that I whipped up earlier. It's not done. I haven't decorated or anything, but just to show you sort of what I mean of how you can take, a basic sort of binder and do something with it. But I love my little chickies. I think they're so cute. So it has a pocket. And then again, it's got, and I did like 8 pages dyed in between. I figured if I could fit 2 recipes on each one, that's 16 pages. That's 32 recipes, per section. So if I need to add more, I can. And I love how the dividers came out. You can tell my daughter sprayed some of these and I sprayed some of the other ones because when she did them, they're just covered. And some of these I kept if they had this has a carrot cake recipe and my family loves carrot cake. So I kept that, although my mom has the best carrot cake recipe that there is. Just throwing this out there. She does. And my little piggy tag. I love that tag. I used to collect pigs when I was little. I had over 100 pigs. Seriously, over 100. And then, I did some with doilies. I did some plain tea and coffee dyed. This is actually coffee dyed. My husband actually had made a pot of coffee when he went to work, and there was about this much left in the pot. And he had turned the pot off, so it was sitting in the pot. I turned the pot back on, warmed it up, poured it in the pan, and just took my pages out of my binder. And I had the little dot cookie trays from the Dollar Tree, and I could fit 4 on a thing. And if you use those ones with dots, you can layer one layer in one pan. Set your next pan on top of it, layer a layer, set another pan on top of it. And I do 4 of those pans high, and you get them 2 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. So works really good. And then we got the little, and see, you can do flips so you can have lots of little areas to write. And, if you have somebody that cooks or, they're learning to cook and they're starting to throw their own recipes together or whatever, it's perfect. And I mean, whether it's boy or girl, because my one boy loves to cook, but his would be all barbecue. He loves barbecue stuff. And then a little pocket and a little tag. And this tag was actually a backboard out of, a scrapbook paper kit that comes, wrapped in the plastic. And I just cut it up and did that. So there's all my dyed pages. And then see, I have a tuck in there. This is more of that cardboard when I cut that up. After I made the regular tags, I had all these pieces that were real thin. I just cut them into 4 pieces and covered them. And then they are longer than the dividers. So to cover that, I had some washi that matched. So I just covered the back of it with washi so it didn't look bad. So, and again, there's more of those dyed pages. I loved this page. I love this doily, the pineapple doily. And an antique button that was my grandmother's. And again, it's got the little tabby. And my daughter did some multicolor ones, not all the same. And there's dyed. And of course, this has some vintage doily behind it and for that, and some lace. And I mean, you could always go back and do lace. This was one of the poems in the front of the binder that I just thought was really cool. So I added that in there. And then this is a table cover. And I just stuffed some down in there from the kit. And then again, I put there, I did have some of them, and this wasn't from turning it. This is from where I dyed it and it was loose. So I'm going to go through and add hole reinforcers on some of them where they're loose. And then here's all the pastry basic stuff. This is all the information things that come with the kit, but I wanted to keep that because, you know, it's got substitutions and, you know, all your size differences and all that. And there's some more dyed ones. And then this is going to be my little canning divider back here. So I put all the canning stuff on there, and it's got the green and all the little papers. So, I mean, it's coming together pretty good. The only thing I have left to do, because I love journals and I love lacy journals. I love them when they're like crazy full of lace and all that. My concern with this in not wanting to make it so lacy is because I want it to be useful. I want to be able to carry this in my kitchen and use it. And with a bunch of lace, well, we all cook. We know what happens. I mean, pull out a recipe card that doesn't have a fingerprint or an oil stain or some kind of stain. If it doesn't have a stain on it, then somebody's not cooking. That's just the way it works in my house. But so yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty well, other than adding my recipes, I do have to do the closure, and I'm going to show you guys how I do that. And once I decide, I'll show you these two. Once I decide where I want to put my recipes, if you can still find them, Graphic 45 has a Home Sweet Home collection. And they have, if you want to do multiple recipe journals like as gifts or whatever, it's well worth it. But they have a whole set of stamps. I pulled them all out because I usually have them in a thing. But they have a milk can. There's a little watering can. And there's a little mason pint jar, which is so cute. And there's like a little pastry cutter. I love Country Life. The Early Bird. I don't know if you guys can. I can hold this up, I guess. The Early Bird gets a worm. Hello, Mindy. Apple pie without some cheese is like a kiss without a squeeze, which is so funny. Hey, how you doing, Lamia? I want to say Lamia, right? Hopefully I said that right, Lamia. If I didn't pronounce it right, please tell me how to pronounce it, because then there's the old country cupboard. It's all open with all the stuff inside of it, so it was really cute. And an apple and gooseberry jam label. I'm trying to hold these up while they're focused maybe a little bit better. And there's the little woman holding the apple pie, which I thought was so cute. And there's a little fork and a rolling pin, a Farm Fresh Eggs sign. I can call you Carrie. Okay, awesome. Home Sweet Home. There's a Sunnybrook Farm Dairy milk cap stamp. And then there's a second little mason jar. And these all come in a kit. And again, like I said, they are Graphic 45 Home Sweet Home collection. And you can still find these. I lucked out, and I've got these on Amazon probably 5 or 6. I'm just throwing them in here because I don't want to lose any of them. But I usually have a acetate sheet that they go on. I found them on Amazon, and I paid like $6 for them. So, you know, check there or check eBay, because eBay is real good for carrying Graphic 45 stuff. So let me put my recipes and stuff over to the side. And I already marked my holes on here because I was trying to save myself the headache. I hate measuring on screen. So let's see. Yep, I got it. I need to set to the big size. I'm just going to poke holes in it. And what I did, I'll tell you what I did. I marked it in the middle, and I went 1/4 of an inch in. So once I do it, which is going to be hard to do because it's really thick, and let's see, I have to center this up, and I center it up. That'll leave me about 1/8 of an inch on both sides. So give me a second to, and this is a really thick cover to go through, but it will go through it without a problem. Little piece of paper stuck in there. Well, if I can get a hold of it now. And I'm going to put a little grommet in there. Oh, you know what? I did this the other day too, didn't I? Turn it over. What's you, Melissa? Trying to measure and mess things up. I measure and I have to remeasure and I have to remeasure again because I double guess myself. And even though that's pretty thick, it went through and held just perfect. Then flip this over again. I think I just popped my ring open, but if I did, hopefully everything won't go flying. But we'll see. If it does, I'll just put it back in. Now let me get down here where I can see what I'm doing again, because trying to make sure I center it up. That was loud. Sorry, guys. You're probably like, wow, what in the world? Oh, shoot. Oh, no, I don't need that because I'm using one of the, if I can get it unscrewed now, one of the Tim Holtz little hitch knob pin thingies. Because I wanted to make sure I did something that, you know, I could make extra room for later. And these do really good for that. And hopefully my little screw post will go through here and I can get it to, yeah. I just grabbed that because it helps me get better gription. I'll tighten that down with a screwdriver in a little while. But so it goes straight on there like that. Then I want to make sure I keep enough ribbon so I have extra, so as my book grows, you know, it's got that extra. And I'm actually using the lace that I did on the inside. I just thought it would be really cute, you know, then sort of cohesive to have it all together. And I'm one of those people that has to angle the ends. I can't handle, I don't like it when the ends, if the end shags once it's angled, that's fine. But when I first put it in there, I like for it to be that way. And then I'm going to put my lace, one end of my lace to the hole, and let the other come through on the outside. And people do this different ways. So, I mean, some people will put two side by side and run it through. It just sort of, it depends on what your preference is. And then I'm just going to tie that once just to hold that there. Now, go this way. Yeah, my rings popped open. I thought they did. The fun part. Let me turn it this way. It makes it a little easier when I can see the holes. On top, Trisha, is one of the, I think they're called hitch posts, hitch pins. They almost look like little doorknobs. I'll show you in a minute. They're it's Tim Holtz is, but I think they're actually called hitch pins. If not, hold on, give me a second and I'll find out the exact name of it. But they work. I'll show you in a minute. Well, darn it. I was trying to hurry. Sometimes hurrying makes it go slower. Let me just slow down and do a little bit at a time. Sometimes you try to hurry and it makes you slower. It does me. Oh, you've never seen them? Yeah, they're like hitch posts. Okay, Melissa, that's what I thought. Let's see, Melissa is all over it. You go, girl. That's what I thought. They were hitch posts. But they're, I'll grab one real fast and sort of show you. I guess I should have showed you before I put it on there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me grab one so I can show you what they look like. I have one of these. All of my findings, my little metal pieces, are in these, like the black shelves with the little pull-out drawers that men use in their garage for screws and stuff. Oh my gosh. Since I got that, I love it. It's so much easier to handle. Let me find a top that doesn't have, oh yeah. Okay, so basically what it is it's a two-piece contraption. One has the, I don't know if it'll focus in for you. It's a little screw. It's the little screw part like that. So it's the screw and it has the little post that sticks up and then the little, almost like little doorknob part that it looks like that. What you do is you poke your hole and this goes through one side. This where the hole is goes in the other side. And then, well, and this, you just put it on there and then you twist it and you can tighten it with a screwdriver or whatever. And see, so like your paper, like if you had, your chipboard cover or whatever would be stuck in between there, then you would just twist this down and tighten it till it doesn't fit. And then it, that's what it does. So basically that's what it does once it's screwed in. Well, hopefully but they're great for like up here because, I had to use the grommet down here. And so I have this up here. So now all I can do is I can come up here, sort of squeeze this down to where, it's not, I don't like squashing it, but just sort of, pushing it to where it's compacted a little bit. And then you can take your lace, just like, let me turn it this way because I can do a little bit better. Just like you're going to tie a shoestring with your post in the middle. And so I do it this way because then I can take my wrist and sort of push my cover down. And then you do that and it just pulls tight around there. It hooks around that little knob. And then you just tie your bow, like you're tying your shoes. Make it. And so you can use whatever side. You can use sari silk. You can use seam binding. You can use any kind of lace or ribbon that you want. And then you just sort of, fix your bow, which I'm not going to take a lot of time to do, and it just hangs over. And then, you've got your nice little bow there, and that, that holds it. I mean, and my book's pretty, I still could push it. It's not. Then if you want to open it, the best part I like is when you get ready to open it, take the time to tie your bow really good. And if you guys are all like me, every time I tie a bow, I untie it and retie it because you want it to look really nice. Okay, well, once you get it tied, you don't have to untie it. All you have to do is take your journal, whether it's, a recipe or whatever, take it, squeeze your cover, pick your bow up, and pull, and it comes off. So then you're open. Squeeze, put it over top of it, and it's closed. And then it makes it so much easier. So, you're not unwrapping, you're not unbinding, you're not retying. It's just literally push, pull, and it's open. Push, if you get your bow in the way, push, put it over top the screw, and it's done. It saves a bundle of time. And what you can do, if you want to have that illusion, if you want the ease like this, but you want the illusion of looking like you have it all wrapped up, what you can do is run your lace into here and tie it off just like this. Then you come over here. These are different pieces from different scrap. Then, you take your Fabri-Tac, cut your lace even. Go ahead and glue your lace there like that. Wrap it around without sliding it around. Bring it all the way around. And then what I would do is, if you have lace or something, like this will pop over top there because there's holes in it. If you don't have holes in it, then just sort of, take a teeny tiny little, you can even use your pokey tool, just enough to get a little hole where it pops down over top there. Take your Fabri-Tac, cut it off right here. Take your Fabri-Tac and glue it all the way around. So you basically, let me put it back on here. If it was like it was glued. Okay, so I have my bow. This would all be glued down. So it would literally look. It would look like you have it all tied up. And you can even, if you want to make it look like you've wrapped it a couple of times, you can take your lace, because sometimes you want that look to look like it's thicker or bulkier. If you want to do that, then you can take your ribbon, and you don't even have to, you can take your ribbon, loop it around like this, loop it around your little post, wrap it around, make sure it's long enough, bring it back here, put it through here, and you can tie it inside where there's a bow, then have this over top of it, but where it wraps around like that. Then when you drag your bow and put it over top there, you're going to have that double wrap where it looks like you've wrapped it all up, which is nice, but you don't have to deal with unwrapping and unwrapping and unwrapping and whatever. You can just literally push and pull and it's done, which makes it super nice. And you can do this with elastic. You can do it with fabric. You can do it with yarn, sari, silk, the cotton fabric ties, whatever kind of tie you want. So, it's easy money doing it that way. And it saves time. And some people, I actually worked at a factory for a short time when I was younger, and it was a battery factory where they made and packaged batteries and things. But one of the lines they had was a Victoria's Secret line. And I actually worked on it tying bows. They actually had somebody train you how to tie those really pretty bows on the top of like the Victoria's Secret body gels and stuff packages. But some people cannot tie a bow for anything. And I know some people that are really, can't at all. This is not good for me, but I'm one of those Christmas people that decorate, packages to the nth. But yeah, it just makes it really easy to do. So yeah, other than going through and figuring out exactly what recipes I want to put in here, which I'm not sure. I want to make sure that I put some thought into it. I don't want to just throw all of them in there. Because I only want to put the ones I want to use. And I sort of want to make it more of a generational heritage type recipe book. And I may make just a general one just to throw stuff in. But this, with the retro look and all this looks like it would be something that my grandmother would have had, or, that type of thing. It just looks more like something you would pass down to the family. So I want, to make it more where it's more multi-generational and lots of little keepsakes and stuff in there so I can pass it down. So once I get it, everything stuffed in there and ready to go, then I'll show you. It probably won't be this journal. This one, you'll probably see another one. I actually think I'm going to sell this one, and I will tell you why. because it's not wide enough for me. And I have already decided that I have to get a bigger binder. So I actually think I'm going to recover a Gardening Made Easy book because it folds open. And this is all dusty. I still haven't cleaned it. I have another one like this that's not as, and it has a lot bigger rings because I want more room. I want that ease because I cook all the time. I'm one of those people who cook massive meals all the time. So it's going to get used. So I want to make it. Yeah, see, Trish, that's how I am. And I want to take my time. I don't want to rush through. So with that being said, I am extremely happy with it and the way that it turned out. So this is going to go in my Etsy store, and then I'm going to make mine bigger. And my daughter's bigger because I already have a ton of recipes. I have a ton that's been passed down, and my one daughter, yes, probably could keep the same recipe book for 100 years because she hates to cook. But my other one loves to cook, and I know she's going to be like me. She's going to have recipes she's going to add in there. You know, things that we like to eat that, you know, maybe like we love Mongolian beef over rice. Well, guess what? My mom and them never ate Mongolian beef over rice. That was not, you know, in their thing. So that's just something I'm going to do. So I will be putting this in my Etsy store, and I'm making a bigger one, but I am going to keep the same blue and the basic design. It's going to be pretty much identical to this, with some differences because I want it bigger and more room and more pages. So, but there's that. But I will show you. This winter, I got a couple different binders and such like that. Just some different binder type things. This was one that I got, and it's like a planner binder. So, well, where did the rest? Oh, hold on. There's more to it. Yeah. So there's this. I just have these stuck in here. They're sticky notes just until I can get a pocket. And there's these little sticky notes that go with it, which I think are cute. And it's got a little ruler that's got the flowers and stuff on it that match it. And there's one of the dividers. There's tons of little stickers that go with it. So I was just sort of throwing this together to see as a basic one. Then I have all my coffee dyed paper to separate it. I still have calendar pages and like weekly to-do pages for like a planner. Then it's got the little paper clips. And then it's got another little divider. And it's got little stickers and the family budget and more papers. And then another divider, which, I mean, I haven't put any lace on it or anything. More stickers, and all the stickers are different. So none of them are repeats, which I love. And then there's a little grocery list and some more papers and a paper clip. So I haven't done anything with this other than put this stuff in there. But just like you did, or we did, the recipe binder, you can do a planner binder the same exact way and turn it into a junk journal if you're a planner binder or planner binder. If you tend to use a planner, like with the whole binder concept, it's easy to turn it into a junk journal. And then I have calendar pages I'm going to print off and put in here and all of that. So this is one I'm just working on the side because I managed to, when I got this, I got 3 different kits. I got, there's 2 identical to this. And then hold on a second. And then there's this one that I'm keeping for me because I just love this one. And it's got, you know, all the same. This I actually found some of the pages. They have the months and stuff right on it, which works for me because I do so much business stuff now. And then, you know, your little. So I'm actually going to make some of these to put in the other, but I want to give it more of a old-fashioned vibe. Oh, well, thank you, Carrie. Bye. Have a great night. Stay safe and stay healthy. So, yeah, you can do this with any kind of binder that you get. You know, nature type garden ones, cooking ones, craft binders, anything like that, you know. And I'm going to actually keep this cover the way that it is, but I'm going to put lace around the inside. But I actually want, because it's a planner, so it's not going to be a kitchen type thing. It'll be on my desk, so I actually want to put lace where it'll have like the lace hanging around the edges and everything else. And I'm going to put some wide white lace, down the spine of it and sort of dress it up. And then I think these I'm going to cover with, because they're sort of flimsy, I'm going to cover it with some cardstock and, make a pocket on the back so I have some storage and just a whole bunch of different stuff. And I still have to add all the other papers and all that. But I just started playing with this. So, yeah. So what do you guys think about the recipe binder? You like it? Who all is making one? Is anybody? I know Trish is making one because I've seen hers. Hers is pretty. And this is what I'm working on now. My favorite. But I'm actually doing a Edith Holden book. Whoo, buddy. And I love these. Aren't they pretty? I know, Melissa, right? Look at that. That is like the best picture ever. I love it. But I want to do it sort of like a planner too, but a journal at the same time because it has all the months. So I thought that would be really cute as a planner. But I pull all these out so they're all like in different directions. None of them are in the same. I looked out and I was actually... Wendy, are you talking about with the recipe thing? I know. And I did that. And what am I doing? What am I doing with her book? I don't want to waste anything. I'm going to keep some of the pages, like just, for fussy cutting that thing. But I'm actually going to make a journal out of it. But I'm actually going to use this book. I'm going to extend the spine a little bit because I don't know if you guys have ever done any like with a book cover. Okay, like this book cover is actually right at 1 inch. Yes, Wendy, if you're going to do one of the recipe ones, go back to the very first recipe book live that we did. There is a kit you can order from Morris Cookbook Publishing and one from Cookbook Publishing, I think is what it's called. There's two different ones. The links are in one of the earlier videos, like the very first one. Order those and you get it for free. Yes, Mitz, I will. It won't be one of my nighttime things because I try to work on things that everybody can have access to. And Edith Holden, for whatever reason, has just skyrocketed. Some of her books are like $30, $40, $90 a piece now. I mean, it's insane. I looked out. I actually have 4 Edith Holden books, and this is the newest one. I have this one, which has the cream colored cover. Hold on. See, I have a collection. That's the cream color one. This actually has the picture on front, which I love. And then this is another one of the cream ones. Yeah, I don't know if it's because of everybody. And this is another one of the cream ones. The one that I'm keeping, that is mine, that I'm keeping is the one that actually has the picture on the front. Because in case, over time the dust cover, gives out. But I was lucky. All of them have the dust cover. And this one is actually, let's see. Um, 1970. No, 19. That may have been 1991. Hold on, let me see. Yes, and this one is 1977. So I have a 91, a 77, because some of them are different. The years are different, and some of the books are. And this is another 77. And then this one, if I can find the front of it, there's May, there's April. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's, and this one is 78. So I have two 77s, a 78 and a 91. I actually like the one that has the picture on the front, but I'll probably keep the 77 too because it's one of the older ones. So the other two will get, chopped into pieces. But what I was going to say is, yes, and I probably will do this on a live. Okay, Wendy. Yeah, they're well worth it. And you get it for free. It doesn't cost anything. And you get like 3 cookbooks in each kit. And so you can use those and actually recover those. And you get the cookbook pages and everything. And all the pages that tell you, like the conversions and all that. Okay, but this spine is actually a 1-inch spine. However, if you gut it out and you take all the pages out, and I haven't cleaned mine completely out. I mean, I took them out, but and this page right here, I left my front covers there, right? If you actually fold that back, and I will end up taking this out, I'm going to cut it and use it for a front pocket because it matches. And the same thing with the back one. But if you, and this works with any book. I'm trying to get a hold of that paper and it's not working. Okay. But if you take both of these and pull them back as far as you can, okay, so where you can see where the spine actually is, like that, and you measure, your spine is actually 1.25 inches. The problem is when they make books, you have this dent right here on the side. That's like 1/8 of an inch. So if you can extend that, you get 1/4 inch more. Well, if you have 1/4 inch, you can make, 3 signatures easy out of it. Because I want to keep that there. So what you do is you take it and you pull all this out, or cut it out is usually smarter to do. So if you just cut along that page, making sure you don't cut through your front cover, because if you're not careful, you will, and then you've just destroyed your front cover. So you have to be careful. You just snip that out. Let me go over here. And I just snip it out as close as I can to that page, because, and you can use a craft knife if you want to, if you don't feel, comfortable enough to do a scissors or use scissors. And so this is you're just sort of getting a little bit of all kinds of stuff today for free. Woohoo! Everything's for free on Dorothy's channel. Unless you buy something. That's not my fault if you buy it. Okay. So by opening that up, you see how much more open that is. Okay, when I take that out, you can actually roll this back. And again, I can cut all of this out. Are you gathering stuff for a cookbook journal, Kathy Jean? Okay, so when you pull this back all the way, which is what we did, you almost get 1.5 inches. Okay, so what you do is you take and you cut your chipboard then, and I'm going to use my ruler instead of, you cut your chipboard, you cut this all out of the way, cut your chipboard that width that you need, and then you just slide it in there, your 1.5 inches, which this isn't obviously wide enough to be in there, and you put your chipboard in there. So I'm going to just do it this side like this, so I can pick it up and show you. And when you do it, it pops that corner out. And see over here, I'm trying to hold it in 2 different places. But if you see up here, like where this is, where it extends where that's dented in, that helps make your spine wider. So I can get a quarter or an inch and a half out of here, which means I can put 3 signatures in there and still have room to decorate on my front and my back, which means I'll be able to do 3 signatures in this binder. I mean, it'll alligator mouth, but I like alligator mouth. That's my passion in life is, if it's a journal and it doesn't have an alligator mouth, it's not really a real journal. Yeah, that's just if you put it in there. But yeah, so yeah, you can extend those things. I know a lot of people ask, well, it's not wide enough. How do you do that? Well, when you take, a quarter inch on this side and a quarter inch on this side out, that makes your spine pretty wide. So I can do that. And then, where that bump is, once it's there and you put it in there, I could run some lace on this side, some lace on this side. This is actually going to show, even though, I'm going to do a hidden spine or a hidden signatures, when I sew them in, so you can't see. So you're going to be able to see this on the spine because I just think that's cool, especially with the gold embossing. And then I can decorate the front. So, but that is my plan with that. For, I think Mindy asked, wasn't it? I want to keep going Mitts because I'm seeing Mitts, but I know your name's Mindy. But yeah, so there you have it. And I'm going to do some fussy cutting, and I want to do some envelopes. But I just love her pages like this. So I'm actually going to do, I think I'm going to do 12 small signatures versus, so, each month will have its own signature because I think that would be cool. And so this will be like the first page of my signature. And then because, that's, I can pull this apart. Very careful. So like where this comes apart. Let me look over here where it's at. This actually connects to this page. That's the very front, so the little strings never want to come out the way they should. So I can reinforce this with some fabric down the middle. This can be the front of my signature. This will be the back of my signature, which I can decorate with a pocket, and then fussy cut some stuff on there. So, I will put fabric along here to reinforce it. This will actually be my first signature. So I literally, when I go to bind it in, it'll actually fit in here and be sewed in. So, yep. And then I'll just, make my little tabs or whatever. So, but that's my idea on how I want to do it. Just a yearly planner binder, with the 12 signatures, which I know a lot of people are like, 12 signatures, that's crazy. But 12 small signatures are not any more work than 3 large signatures. So that's my concept. But what I'm going to do is do 3, and then I will connect those 3 into one signature. So there'll actually be 4 signatures within the spine, but they'll contain 3 signatures each, if that makes any sense. Probably not. It was probably easier if I show you later. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do with that. So that's what I'm working on. And I know our next journal that we will be working on together, because finished in the recipe one, the next one we'll be working on is a traveler's notebook. This I'm going to do, but this will probably be like one of my sort of like last night when I had sort of my impromptu midnight madness couldn't sleep crafting thing or whatever. So you'll be able to watch it during the day because I still record everything. Yeah, but then the one we'll actually be working on Mondays and Tuesdays will be a traveler's notebook. So, well, it'll be a traveler's notebook junk journal. So it'll be a little bit sort of a hybrid. I had a bunch of people ask about that. Oh, anything Edith Holden will be great. Oh, I know. I know. I know. I know. What I may do, because obviously I'm not going to use all these pages in this journal, obviously. So what I may do is we'll do the traveler's notebook, and it'll sort of be anything goes, um, sort of like a soup pot. Whatever everybody has, they can use. So if you have a certain digital kit of some sort, you can use that. Or if you have a book that you want to use, or a favorite book, or if you don't have that and you just have coffee dyed paper and an animal encyclopedia, you can use that. Or maybe you don't want to do that at all and you want to use you know whatever. So, but yeah, so I'll probably leave it as a hodgepodge, mod podge, hodgepodge. Everybody can just use whatever they want for their traveler's notebook, and I may do mine um, in the country diary book. My mom would go nuts over this. I'm telling you guys, my mom loves this kind of stuff. This is like up her alley. These pages like this. See, I just think that is just. So I actually think I'm going to use the main pages like this um, out of the signature is what I'm going to use from the front of my signature. And then inside my signature, I'll use like the music sheet, the maps, the encyclopedia pages, all that. Hey, Lori. Oh, Trisha, I love Alice in Wonderland. Oh my gosh. I actually thought about doing an Alice in Wonderland kit. I adore Alice in Wonderland. I actually, I don't know if you've seen it or not. I did it's called Down the Rabbit Hole is what it's called. It was Junk with Steph's kit. She has a digital kit that is phenomenal. She has one, and Artie Mays has one, but they're totally different styles. Artie Mays has more of that old traditional black and red old school Alice in Wonderland type vibe. Then Junk with Steph on Etsy, and her kits are pretty cheap. She has one, but it's like the turquoise and the purples and all that. It's the kit that I used when I did my Down the Rabbit Hole journal. You have the Artie Mays one? Yeah, I do too. I have the Artie Mays one and the Junk with Stuff one. And I like that. What I may do, because the two kits I have are phenomenal, that I'm sort of like, I like the kits the way they are. What I may do is do an ephemera kit because I have a lot of like old. You have 7 of these books? I have 4. And it's only because I have 4. It's only because I've found 4. As soon as I find more, I will have more. I love these books. But yeah, I actually have an Alice in Wonderland book that is. I actually have. Let me share some of my books. I actually have this one, which I sort of like because it has some of the old school. I sort of like these because they're like full page pictures and they're a little bit different. So it's like a different, sort of a different vibe than the kits that you find. But some of the pictures I really like. So I think I'm going to use, and I found this for 29 cents at my thrift store. But then I found this one. It was at Goodwill for 99 cents. And it's really cool. It's got Lewis Carroll's picture in it. But it has the old black and white, the original pictures that you don't find very much anymore. Which I really like. So, yeah, you can find a lot on Pinterest. But yeah, there's tons of, the old school pictures that you don't see. This was the original artwork from the very first one that Lewis Carroll did. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And it's got, some of the sayings and quotes and things like that. So, and that's the kind of stuff that I really found when I was using the kits that I had. I love the kits, but I didn't like the fact that I couldn't find a lot of quotes, like just the quotes, just the words. I couldn't find the old ephemera, and so I've got some from early on that I've gathered, really, really old ones. So, yeah, Lori, I do the same thing. I've got, okay, you guys, you want me to share with you? I have the Edith Holden one I want to do. I have the Alice in Wonderland I want to do. Now, when I show you this one, this is going to be funny because I've got like 15 different versions of this, but this is the Anna Green Gables book. But I have like, I kid you not, like 14 different versions of this. Oh, is everybody saving for an Alice one? Okay, so who all wants to do an Alice one? Because I can work on that and add that into my. So I have an Anna Green Gables that I want to do. That's my passion. I love Anna Green Gables. Then I have a Little Men one that I want to do because I thought it would be cute to do for my boys. And it has really good pictures in it. So I thought sort of a Little Men, Little Women. I am and I do. Okay. And then I have a Pocahontas one. The Legend of Pocahontas. And I love these books. And they have really, really pretty pictures in them. Let me try to find a picture for you. Well, now because I said that, I'm not going to be able to find one. But I love the pictures for these. Yep. Me too. I work on multiple kids at the same time. I actually have a Anna Green Gables one that I'm working on right now. My passion, and I love Pocahontas, so I was thinking about doing her, and I love this book, and I'm like going, oh, this book would be great to do a journal in. I just love it. But do you? Yeah, I just have this big. I'm a book lover, so I have a massive amount of books, and I have. If you guys remember the show Christy that was on, where she was in Appalachia in the mountains with Tyne Daly, that was in the movie. I have 2 of her books, and I'd love to do one there. Yeah, I have collections of stuff that I haven't started with. I want to do a sewing one, and then somebody today asked me about I don't know. It seemed like it was one of you. I don't know. It's been a long day for me. I have a pokey till mine's falling apart. It's coming apart after 15 years. Imagine that. I want to do another Civil War one. I've did one of those, but I'd love to do another one. And I haven't been thinking about doing one, but I had a lady ask me, or she sent me, was it Kathy? Kathy, was that you that asked me about the Civil War journal? Anyway, that got me thinking. So now I'm got that in the back of my head too. It just, when I think of something, but right now I'm working on a digital kit, and it's all like for like family history or like a family memory book. So there's like one main page that has like about mother, and there's a digital page that has about father and grandmother and grandfather and uncle and cousin and kids and all that. And it has like the family sheet that has mom and dad's name and the kids. And there's vintage certificates, like a marriage certificate and a birth certificate, a christening, a baptismal certificate, all of those things. So there's a ton of different ephemera in there. The basic tag kit that I uploaded, I know somebody was talking about it today. Who was it? I think it was Colleen in the group that was fussy cutting the tags, the basic tag set. That basic tag set is one of 2 sets of tags that actually go with the family thing. There is like 11 different sets. There's one that has the words on it where it has mom and dad and all that, and it has really old fashioned. It's got photos on it. It's just gorgeous. And then the other one doesn't have any words on it at all. Oh, the Do-Si-Do journal. Oh yes, we talked about that last night. Melissa's got me all hooked on that again. I want to do the good day, bad day. But I really do think that we're going to, when I do that, at least when I do that, I'm going to do a Wizard of Oz one, because I think that, I don't know, remember who it was that said last night. Oh, nice, 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 Lori. But the Do-Si-Do, I think, will be awesome. Trisha, which would be fun to do? The Do-Si-Do? But yeah, I think the Do-Si-Do would be awesome as a Wizard of Oz. One in color and one in black and white. Just sort of that play on things, and it works for me because my name's Dorothy anyway. So I think that's funny. Although I hated the name Dorothy as a kid. Oh, the family kit. Yeah. See, and that's one I actually thought, Trish, about doing. Oh, nice, Lori. I actually thought about doing the family kit and doing, because you could do one side, your husband's family, one side your family, or vice versa. But then a lot of people don't have husbands, or they don't, do that or whatever. So yeah, I think I'm going to do a standard kit for the family one. It is neat. It has a lot of pieces to it. And there's, let's see. So you have worded pages. There's worded pages that have the words, the names on them. There's the collage pages that don't have the words on it. There are background pages. There are the basic tags. Then there's like more fancier tags that have parts of the kits on them. Let's see. There are all the different genealogy forms you could fit in. There's just, yeah. See, I think that's what I would do. I would do one side my mom and one side my dad. That just makes more sense to me. Yeah, I thought about doing that. I have a ton of stuff, but yeah, the family kit, I've just about got it done, and I'll be uploading it. But like I said, it is, the one thing with Etsy is they sort of limit you because you can't fit everything into one kit, because you can't fit it up there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload, like, the backgrounds is one, the words is one, the collage is one. Those will all be separate kits that people can download, just because people may just want the backgrounds but not any of the family stuff. That way they can download each of those kits, and then I'll have a bundle kit, which will be a little bit more expensive than the other ones, obviously, but it'll have all of the family, what's called Lasting Legacy. All of the Lasting Legacy kit will be there, but what it'll be is you'll get a PDF download of the Google links to all of the kits, and I'll store them on Google Drive. That way I can fit the bulk of it all together and offer it as one bundle for people who want to, buy the big kit. Just because I think that would be easier for people to do. And I hate piecing kits out, but Etsy sort of makes you have to do that, because you just can only fit so much. You're only allowed 20 megs. But if you want to be able to print something and, it prints off really good, then you have to, do a sort of a little higher. And I'm working on the Secret Garden kit, so it'll be ready. It'll launch Sunday. I thought about doing the Kathy Jean, I did too. Believe it or not, the other day I was bored, and while I was working on the Secret Garden kit, I actually I have all 3 of the DVDs. I have Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea, and then Anne, the Continuing Story. Yeah, Trish, that's exactly how I am. I want the big kit. And now here's something I'm thinking about doing, and just throw this out there, just to see what people's response are. I have this ungodly. It's just wrong to have this much ephemera. Okay, I have tons of. I'm talking well over 10,000 files that are all um, copyright free type images. And I have them. So what I was thinking about doing is once a month releasing basically like a catalog. And so one of the things I'm working on now is it's called The Ladies of Luck. And what did I do with a page of that? Let me grab a page real fast. If I can find it, because I just moved them. Oh my! I have to find my daughter because my daughter was picking stuff up for me earlier. Let me see if I can pull. I know I can pull it up. Give me a second. I'll pull them up. But they're called Ladies of Luck, and Kathy Jean, I don't have a kit for Anne of Green Gables yet. I'm working on one. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull them up. And I don't know if I have them on here. Nope, I don't have them on here. I have everything else but. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so when I say I have, like, look, guys, I mean, it's just, those are all different pages of butterflies. So, I mean, I have, hi, Carol. Oh, yeah, Melissa, it is gorgeous. I've been trying to find one, but I can't find one. So I'm going to try. But anyway, what I was thinking about doing was every month, just in my Etsy, I would put basically out a catalog. And basically, it would be like an image warehouse. So, say, let's see, April, this is April, right? Okay, yeah, in 2 days. It'll be May. So, say, like, if I released it for June, and it would go into my Etsy store. And basically, you would open it up, and there would be like 5 or 6 pictures. Like, say there was a butterfly picture, and there was a poker card, like the Ladies of Luck or poker cards from the 1916, 1920, early 1900s, and they're all actresses. So they've got like the actress's picture, but they're an actual poker deck. So I would link, I would have a picture of a butterfly. When you clicked on that, it would have a link that would take you to, it would download a PDF. That PDF would have pictures of all the butterfly pictures that I have, and like the little contact sheets, the little bitty like stamp size pictures. Then you can go on there and look and figure out what picture you want, or you could just follow the link. It would go to Google Drive, where you could open up that folder and you could see all the pictures of all the butterflies I have and go through and highlight which ones you want to print. So basically it would be a PDF catalog. It would be a PDF catalog that would go to all of the images that I have, if that makes sense. And then every month, because I'm continually adding in there and pulling from them and all that. So every month it would just, maybe butterflies will be this month. And then next month would be birds, and the month after that might be rabbits, or, and you would just have a certain set that you would release every month. Then basically what you could do is you could print off that PDF, and you would have a reference. So if you could flip through and you knew you needed butterflies, you could go, okay, well, May had butterflies. Then you just go find the May one and know which one to click on. And it would save you from having all these images on your computer. So on your computer down, you could just literally go in and click the ones that you want to. I don't know. I'm playing with that. I'm playing with a couple other ideas of an easier way to make it work. I had somebody tell me that I doing a monthly subscription and everybody just pay like, $6, $7 a month, $5, $6, $7 a month or whatever. And then they can just access all of them if they want to. Oh, Kathy, it's already in my journal. It's already in my journal. And all the ones we done talked about are already in my list. See, I have pages. It's already got stuff in it. Seriously, look at that. I got pages of stuff already in there. I told you I use it like crazy. I think it would just be easier. And I mean, a lot of people don't have access to a lot of ephemera, and it would be like, postcards for holidays. And, like February, you would get a link to Valentine's Day things. And just, I don't know. It's an idea I'm kicking around. So I have it. So it's like, why not share it? That's just sort of how I am. And I can only load so much into Facebook. Are you laughing at me, Melissa? I told you I use stuff I write. And you know what? You want to know the sad part? I have all of this. And I even have my big 5 subject notebook out today. And see, I have stuff wrote on all but one signature. That one has like 6 pages of stuff. So, lots of stuff. Oh, at least you're not laughing at me. Ha ha ha. You're laughing with me, aren't you? One thing, in case nobody's noticed, why? Because I'm actually, that's why I told you I didn't want to make it all pretty and all that. Well, yeah, basically it would be, but it wouldn't just be for that month. So every month you basically would add to your collection of ephemera, because you would be getting different ones every month. So, it would last too, but it would all be stored on Google Drive. And basically for, whatever, I sell that catalog for that month or whatever, would be the price that would help, cover because I would have to pay, Google to store it. And it's my time and effort of going to dig them up, and then I clean them up. And not only that, but like there's printables there. Because there's things I make with my kit that and sometimes I don't add them to my kits. So, you get like these random things thrown up on the page, like the words that I did, the typewriter words and things like that. One of these journal creators, you pay $99. I've never seen anybody that did that, Trisha. I wonder who it is. It may have been I've seen it and just not. Oh, I bet you're talking about Lindsay Zahner. Is it Lindsay Zahner? It's like Nevermore Creations, maybe. Is that who it is? I think Lindsay Zahner does that. Now, I will throw this out there for whoever's in here in case they haven't seen it. If you are not on my Facebook group, I am running a design team call right now for my digitals. So if you're interested in being on the design team, just send me your info, like your name, your YouTube name, your address, if you're on any design teams or if you've been on design teams in the past. Let's see, what else is there? And just sort of a short bio about yourself. And just email me. I threw my email address up in the chat. Just email me if you're interested. That's one way you can get free kits. I think it is Lindsay Zahner that does that. I don't think I'm not sure it's her kits. I think she has ephemera that she does, and I thought about doing that, but I didn't. A lot of times people are more ready to pay. They're more ready to pay $5 a month because it's easier versus, paying so much for a lifetime subscription. And see, I would be down for that. I'm one of those people that go and pay, a set amount, so I just don't have to worry about it. What do you have to do to be on a design team? Okay, here's basically what happens. If you submit to be on a design team and I choose you to be on my design team, okay, you don't have to be full-time. I usually do this is the first time I've did a call, but I've had people do stuff for me before. It's 6 months at a time. At 6 months, you have the option. If you want to stay on, you can stay on as long as everything's working great. If it's not working great, then I may be like, oh, bye. But that doesn't really happen unless you're like really, really bad. I mean, occasionally you have this type of people. So at 6 months, you have the option if you want to stay on or not. And basically, what it is every 6 to 8 weeks. So basically, like the 15th of the month, you would look through all of the kits that I have on my Etsy store, and you would Facebook message me or email me and go, I really like this kit. Or I may go, okay, well, I just released my family kit. I'd like everybody to do something with a family kit. Or maybe like my because I'm not just about kits, I'm about using everything. That's just me. And basically, so around the 15th of month or whatever, you'd find out and you would get copies of whatever kit or ephemera that you're using that month. Then you have your project is due on the 1st. But it wouldn't be like from the 15th to the 1st. It would actually be the following 1st because you actually let me know 2 weeks before the 1st is up. And then basically every 2 months, you either make a journal, you can make ephemera, you can make an altered file folder. I mean, you could do whatever you use with basically you just use the digital images is what it is, whether it's for an ephemera based thing or whatever. You can make a YouTube or a Facebook video of it, post it to your social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, whatever you have access to. And then you have to make sure that you post it inside my Facebook group. And that's pretty much it. So basically you make something out of it, and for making something out of it, you get that kit to keep forever and use as much as you want. If that explained. Hopefully that explained. Yeah, I think it is. I think she does, you get her kits, but she also does ephemera and stuff like that. She actually did, I want to think it was it was the Orchid Mist. She actually did a review of my Orchid Mist kit when I first started doing digitals, which was probably early 2019, I think, something like that. She actually, it may have been a little bit before then. She actually did. Who is on? Yeah. Okay, I promote who's. Yeah. I talk about it on my channel. There will be a place that it'll be listed on my Facebook group and on my YouTube channel. And I give shout outs and all that to you guys for doing it. So yeah. You get promoted, but I get my product promoted too, and you get a free kit out of it too. So it's sort of a win-win, and it saves you from having to buy kits. So it's just sort of like a thank you for doing it. If that makes sense. Does that make sense for you, Elizabeth? But yeah, like I'll give. Yeah, and like I'll link your things on and give shout out on, my Instagram and Pinterest and all of that too. If that makes sense. Yeah, because honestly, at this point, I can't keep up with it. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Sherry, have a great evening. Be safe. Have a great night. Stay safe. But yeah, does anybody else? Okay, Kathy Jean, what? I filled what up since last night? Are you talking about my idea book? No, I didn't fill it up completely, but I've got quite a bit of pages written already. But I always do that. That's how I keep myself sane. Does anybody else have any questions about anything or any, I mean, be it journal related or personal related or anything, sort of a Q&A? Or something you're wondering about that you maybe just don't know about, or you're too a beginner to be considered for a good design team. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say that, Janet. Uh, you would have to submit your stuff to me, and if you have like pictures of stuff you made, and like that, send that to me. Yeah, the only other thing I have to put in my cookbook is my recipes and stuff. I'm not going to put a lot of pockets and stuff like that until I figure out exactly how much room that I need. If that makes sense. Because it's one of those things until you start shoving everything in there, you really don't know how much room you're going to need. But yeah, if you want to send me an email with any information that you're done, anything you've made or whatever, I'll look at it. I have seen people that have done like one or two and do as good as people that's done it for 2 or 3 years, and I've seen people that's done it for 2 or 3 years that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Gmail. Did I miss here? Let me type it in again. Well, thank you, Janet. Um, yes, thank you, Elizabeth. But yeah, so I mean, if any of you guys are interested, just drop me a line and all of that, and links to your social media if you have them or whatever. You have to have it in by midnight tomorrow, though, because then I have to go through everybody's channels and look at everybody's stuff and decide, which is the hard part because like everybody's great. And then it's not just permanent. You can be a guest and just do one. So if you're interested in just being a guest and maybe doing one, seeing how that works first, then make sure you let me know that. Yes, Elizabeth. Pinterest, Instagram. Let's see, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I don't do Twitter. If that makes sense. So yeah, if you're interested in just like maybe try as a trial and you're not sure, then just throw in there and say, I'm not sure, Dorothy, or whatever, but just I'd rather be a guest, let me see how it works. Oh, Elizabeth, you need to get your stuff on Pinterest, dear. I get a lot of stuff through Pinterest. Yeah, and then I can tag you on my Instagram, my Facebook, and Pinterest and all of that. I think I had 133 saves off my Pinterest account yesterday. It's crazy. But everybody's at home right now, so everybody is doing all of that kind of stuff. I mean, sales. No, on Pinterest, they save. Like when they save, you save a pin. People saving my pins and stuff, and then I have my Etsy store. So, does anybody have any questions? Want to know anything about anything? Just throw it out there. Melissa, you're quiet. You don't have no questions? And Melissa liked the late night chat, didn't you? Um, you know. Okay, Mandy, throw it out there. Oh, I'm sorry. Um, let's see. It's done by Dorothy Elizabeth. Like, see, let me see if I can get it up here where I don't know if you can see it or not. Anyway, I had 5,200 monthly hits on my channel this month. What was the topic to look for the free cookbook? Hold on, let me see, and I'll throw the link up. Give me a second. Let's see. Let me find it. Give me a second. Okay, if anybody is interested. Oh, good night, Kathy. Okay. Let me go up here and get it. Yeah, and if you guys ever have questions, I'm one of those people that will answer it. So just thought of, okay, if you go, Mindy, in the follow the link, and when you go down, just hit the arrow, underneath the topic, like where it says chat, hit the arrow, and it's in the links below. There's also a link to Snap Click Supply, which is where I got the paper that I actually used on the outside of mine. It's a digital paper. Does anybody else have any questions? And tomorrow is our wonderful Wednesday live. I will be doing those by myself. Penny's extremely busy with everything going on, so I will be doing those. So I'm going to go ahead, I guess, and let everybody go. I won't be back on later on tonight. I will probably tomorrow after the live. I'll be on, afterwards, working on some stuff. But tonight I actually have to get some paperwork and design work done. Or you guys won't have your free kit come Sunday, so I have to work on that. I know, no fun. So if you have any questions or anything, just hit me up. My email address is on there. So if, like I said, if you want to do any of the design team stuff, or you even have any ideas or questions, throw those out at me. Yes, you guys all have a great night. Get some sleep. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Had a great time, and we will be back to chat with you tomorrow. You guys have a great evening. And again, like I said, please, please, please be safe and healthy. And we will chat with you tomorrow. Night, everybody. Night, Mindy. Night, Lori. Night, Melissa. Night, Trish. Night, Elizabeth. I feel like John Boy Walton. Night, Mom. Oh, the Etsy shop name is Done by Dorothy. DonBydorothy. Hold on, let me put it in there real fast. The link to the free kit, are you talking about for the cookbooks? The link for the free cookbooks is if you go back to where the YouTube link was that I posted, go to where it pulls up, and you know where you hit chat or your buttons for notification, there's that little arrow in the description box. Click that, the screen will show up, and it'll have the links on there for both of the cookbook kits. In my kit that I'm making for my Facebook group will be posted Sunday in my Facebook group, and that Facebook group is Done by Dorothy. It's just facebook.com/Done by Dorothy. Let's see. I can put up. Hold on. Let me put up the link to. And again, there's the link to the original video we did about the cookbook. And if you click on that, let me see. Let me see if I can show you. My phone's all dirty where I've been greasing it up. If you click that link, it's going to open up to that video. Then if you can see right here, where right next to where it says Country Kitchen Cookbook Junk Journal Tutorial Series, there's a little arrow. If you click that, it opens up, and then all those links are down there. And there are links down there. There is a link to the digital kit that I use. There is a link to both of the free cookbook kits. There is also a link to my Facebook page, and there is a link to my Etsy store, and also my email address is there. So everything you need is there. Anybody else have any questions or need anything else? If not, you guys have a great evening, and I will see you next time. Bye now.